So when you're dealing with notifications, a lot of times you'll have certain notification messages that you want to reuse in different parts of your graph. For instance, let's say in our graph here, for all of these endpoints that are colored in orange, let's say I want to incorporate a notification message that is the same message for all of these different orange nodes. And then for these endpoints that are highlighted in yellow, let's say I'd like to incorporate a different message, but same amongst the yellow ones, and we want them to be the same amongst those. Now you can do this by simply just copy and pasting the same message within the compose email section of each of these nodes. But the problem with this is that if you ever change that messaging, then you need to go back and you need to edit every single node that contains that particular message so that it's consistent across the different nodes that utilize that message. Another way that you can deal with this is by utilizing a Salesforce email template and then just referencing that. But for the users who'd like to utilize LeanData's compose message feature, there is a way that you can do this with variables. So here's what we'll do. Going to the very top of my graph, first I'm going to move these entry nodes up a little bit to give myself some space. And let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger too. And then what I'm going to do is introduce a set variable node. So I can pull one in here for set variable. Now, for the sake of time, I'm just going to paste one that I've previously made here so that you can see what I've built. So here, if I open this set variable node, you'll notice that I have created two different variables. One I've just called marketing notification snippets, and another one I've called sales notification snippets. And you can create any number of different notification snippets here. And then the content of each of these variables is just going to be text. And you can actually see the content of an email message here. So hello, new owner. You have just received the lead, routed lead name from routed lead company. So you can see that the message is right there. Now the sales notification snippet is similar. Hello, new owner. You have just received the routed lead name from routed lead company. Please reach out by this amount of time from your sales team. Now you can obviously customize these messages to say whatever you want them to say. So I've created these two variables with their respective messaging content within it. Now I'm going to hit done, but you can add as many of these snippets as you want and incorporate them in the same node as well. So I will put this right at the beginning of my graph so that for any possible outcome, since all records will have to go through this set variable node, I will have access to these two snippets. So I'm going to go ahead and have them go through my notification snippets variable here. So that's where it's going to store those two snippets and any others that I add to that node. And then later on, it can propagate these variables to all of these different endpoints. So if I open this endpoint here and I want to use the sales notification snippet, all I need to do is insert that variable. So I'm going to look for a sales notification snippet and put it in right there. Go ahead and click done, and that's that endpoint. So here I'm going to add the same sales notification snippet, and to this endpoint, I'm going to add the same snippet. And then this endpoint, I'm going to add the same snippet. So now we're done with all of those orange colored ones. Now let's say for these yellow endpoints, I instead want to use the marketing notification snippet. So here I'm going to find that particular variable. And then once I insert that, I'm going to click done. And then I need to add this to every other node where I want to use that particular snippet. Now, the beauty of this is for every record that comes in, it's going to pull the message in that variable that was stored up in that node, and then it will insert that into the message. So let's say I want to change the language there to, let's say, please reach out by, let's just change the date time to just make it a little bit of a more simple change. And instead of 3 days, let's change that to 5 days. So I've updated the content of the snippet. And then now, once I save these changes, actually, let's just do a save and deploy. So this will now be my deployed graph. Now, the moment that I hit save and deploy, every message that goes out that utilizes that particular snippet will contain the updated version of that message. And you'll note that whenever I use the sales notification snippet, I don't need to change the content of any of those nodes. It's just going to automatically pull in the changes that I made to the snippet itself. So hopefully this helps you manage your notifications, particularly if you reuse the same messaging in a lot of different notifications. This is a way that you can make that more manageable when you're updating it moving forward. I hope that helps.